Welcome to this budget what I eat in a week video. So excited that you're here. I love making these because it's not only a challenge for me, but it helps me save money. And honestly, as a traveling girl, it is very useful to save money. So let's just be real here. I enjoy making these for my wallet as well as for the creativity that it brings me. I wish I could say I could plan for these, but really I just have to go to the grocery store and see what is what price and then go from there and make a plan as I'm shopping. It makes grocery shopping so much of a longer process, but that's why I'm doing it for you. I'm gonna tell you everything that I've bought, but let's keep it simple. I also don't have a blender, so there's no blending things. Really, all you need is some pots and pans and a stove for this video. So I think this is very accessible for everybody. The budget is $35 US. I am in South Africa. The prices are not going to be the same in US as they are here. There's going to be some differences, but my budget is $35 US. So I'm doing the conversion. I'll put that on screen here. And yeah, let's get shopping. Grocery haul is done. I did go over on cost a little bit. I got a little ambitious on my frozen blueberries, but I'm just not going to use them in this video. So that kind of takes away that extra cost that I spent, as well as I bought 2 packs of granola bars because I am in South Africa. There are a lot of people basically at every single stoplight begging for money or food, and I hate not giving something because I do have something to give. I just don't carry cash with me because I'm scared of getting robbed. So I bought some granola bars to give people because it, just makes me feel a little bit better about myself, to be completely honest. And I know it puts a little something in someone's tummy. However, let's dive into this grocery haul. Got some wraps. They're really great for lunches, so that's why I did that. Coconut milk, balsamic vinegar. This will last me a month or 2. Definitely not going to use this all in this video, but I really needed it in the house and I love balsamic vinegar. Some pasta. You can do whatever type of pasta your heart desires. I just felt like this one. Red split lentils, brown lentils, red speckled beans, white rice. You can opt it out for brown rice or any other type of grain. Cucumber, banana, red cabbage, bag of tomatoes, cilantro. This kale was a good price. It was actually a way better price than any other type of green in the grocery store. I know kale tends to be more expensive than other types of greens, so just buy whatever is the cheapest in your grocery store. And for me, I really just lucked out with this. Red onion, which is more expensive than regular onion. I just really love it in wraps and fresh in salads. Normal onion, bag of apples, we can cook them down in some oats. I did calculate oats in my equation because I already have some here. Butternut squash, some carrot, some potato, frozen broccoli in the freezer. I'm gonna cook until I use up all of the fresh ingredients, and that's the goal. Diving into recipe number 1, it's a little bit of a strange one and definitely does not look the greatest, but we can't always live in luxury when we're on a budget. So I started off by boiling some red split lentils until they were almost cooked, added a half a cup of oats, a banana, sprinkled some salt in there along with cinnamon and turmeric, and because of this, it looked like brown, weird sludge stuff, but nutritious all the same. It was a lot of food, however, so I wasn't able to finish the entire pot, and I saved some for the next day. And because I cooked the lentils first, you wouldn't be able to tell that they were in there because they really broke down into mush. Obviously recommend adding some fruit or nuts to the oatmeal to spice it up a little bit, but let's move over to lunch. Started off by chopping half of an onion and mincing about 4 cloves of garlic, and then chopping a lot of little potatoes. I love little potatoes, they're so cute, they're so sweet. But anyways, got on to sauteing my onion in some olive oil until they became translucent, added a couple tomatoes, and then spicing that up with coriander seed, cumin seed, black pepper, turmeric, and whatever curry powder your heart desires. Allowing the spices to get warm for about 45 seconds, adding garlic in there as well, and then going ahead and adding those potatoes. Once I mixed that up and allowed the spices to kind of infuse to the potato for a couple minutes, I added a cup of water, 1/3 a cup of brown lentils, and for a little creamy goodness, 1/3 a cup of coconut milk. And I felt like the dish needed a little bit of like sweetness. I just feel like when you combine a bunch of spices, adding a touch of sugar to a curry just really brightens things up, and I don't know, it allows the flavors to just hit your tongue a little bit different. So I had this as a very late lunch and had a small bowl for dinner. I totally forgot to film it for some reason. I was just in my laptop on this evening, so my head was spaced out somewhere else. However, this recipe, budget or not, absolutely delicious and highly recommend it. So I had my luxury breakfast for the second day in a row along with an apple, and I felt like it needed a little bit of sugar on this day, so I gave myself that. And then got on to the next creation. Just so I have lentils cooked in the house for other meals on this week, I added about a cup of brown lentils into a pot of boiling water, salted that, and allowed them to do their thing, boiling. And for lunch today, I'm building wraps. So I'm massaging some kale with lemon juice and salt until it becomes that beautiful, vibrant green. Once the lentils were done, I added them into a bowl along with some leftover rice, some coconut milk, some garlic powder, chili, and a little squeeze of lemon. And this is going to be the base of our wraps. Because the lentils were already hot, it kind of warmed up the rest of the rice and stuff, but I piled that onto my wrap along with a bunch of veggies, red cabbage, carrot, my kale, cucumber, and because I love red onion, add a little bit of that on there as well. I would say the wrap was lacking in a bit of flavor. So if you have some sort of sauce that you love, then throw that on there. And for my second wrap, I actually built it with a little bit of chili jam just because I'm obsessed with it. It's so sweet, it's so spicy, and I'm obsessed. I love it. And it definitely leveled the wrap up. Moving on to dinner though, we're basically having all of the same ingredients but not in a wrap, and I'm making a creamy sauce with coconut milk, fresh coriander, lemon, salt, garlic powder, and some chili to taste. Very basic, but the fresh coriander adds a lot of flavor. And if coriander is not your thing, do not worry. If you can find basil or parsley in the grocery store for a decent price, then just replace the coriander with a spice that you do like. I just love it because I feel like you can add it to a lot of different things, whether that's like a Mexican recipe or something similar to this. But that's why I reach for coriander instead of any other herb, just because I find it goes with so many things. But I sprinkled my plate with a little bit of turmeric, some black pepper, a little bit of paprika, just to add some color. And yeah, I thought it looked really pretty as well. Because just because we're on a budget doesn't mean that every meal has to look like that breakfast that I made. Good morning from me on this morning to you, wherever you are in the world. A reminder that you are connected to everything around you. We get stuck in our logical brains trying to make sense of everything, and we can make sense of everything, but we have to actually open ourselves to everything around us and not just the sense of logic that we've inherited from this capitalist society that we live in. And I know I just spat like a lot of energy with that sentence, but we live in this masculine world and forget the energetic love and healing and beauty and realm that we are a part of. If we look up at the stars, if we look up at the sky, like that is where we are from. This is how the universe or how the world was created. It's part of this universe, and you are in this world, which is part of the universe. So therefore you are from the universe, and the universe repeats itself. The way that you were made is how the universe was made. Everything that is a part of it is a part of you. You are connected. How beautiful is that, my love? So I challenge you to sit with yourself and allow yourself to feel the magic. Considering how simple this is, it's actually really, really good. I would recommend putting some almonds or cashews or walnuts either on top or mix it in. That would just level everything up. Add a little crunch. But as it is, very delicious. So for lunch today, leftovers were the vibe, and the sun was coming in my apartment and hitting this bowl perfectly that I just had to get all of the beauty shots from this amazing curry. Again, budget or not, this recipe was a banger. I love potatoes and lentils in a curry. Like, it is just so classic. It was full-blown restaurant quality at home on a budget, and I love this. Some things that you could potentially add to this recipe if you have them in the house or the budget for it. Some cauliflower and some peas in this would be absolutely delicious and add a bit more texture to the recipe as well. So on this night, I went out for dinner. I know that's not very budget friendly of me, but I'm making new friends in the city that I live in. So I didn't want to say no to, a girls' dinner just because I was filming this video. 100%. I guess I could have planned more and brought some food with me, but that just didn't seem very pleasant. I just wanted to enjoy the vibes and have a great time with these lovely women. So yeah, I gave myself that. Anyways, the next day, I started it off with my tea, classically a banana and an apple, and then got into the creation process. This beet is so pretty! Beets are just something else. They're like little rubies. I chopped up some onion and a couple carrots, and we're making another chili curry sauce thing that we're gonna enjoy with rice, but I got some olive oil into a pot along with my onion, carrot, and some kale stalks. So if you do buy kale in the grocery store, take the kale off of the stalks and save the stalks, and you can add them as if it's like celery or just another vegetable. It adds a nice crunch and extra nutrition as well, so don't waste. I also saved my beetroot stems as well. Threw a small handful of those in here, along with 2 tomatoes, salt to taste, black pepper, dried basil, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, chili to taste, tomato paste, coconut milk, and I cooked separately some red speckled beans and then just added them to the sauce to do their final little softening up and marination of all of the flavors. So this was inspired by a paprika chickpea recipe that I saw on Pinterest, but didn't have chickpeas, so I used the red speckled beans. I would say it was flavorful, but I think it could have been more so. Paprika really is a spice that people use for color. It's not always the main star of the dish, so I was a little bit skeptical in making something that the prominent flavor was paprika. I do think it's great for if you are on a budget, because paprika tends to be not so expensive, but I felt like it needed a little bit more oomph. And to be honest, I don't know what I did for dinner on that night. I think I lost the footage. I can't find any footage for it. However, I might have just had a small bowl of that same sauce curry again. I truly can't remember, but let's move on to the next day. Adding some olive oil to a pot along with red cabbage, carrot, onion, 1 of the cooked beets, some kale and beet stalks, seasoning that with some salt, adding a couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, some dried basil, some garlic powder, chili to taste, black pepper, and some of those cooked brown lentils. Just mixing all of that together. and allowing things to get nice and warm and flavorful, but I allowed still a bit of crunch to the carrots, just because I felt like that freshness to this one. Served it up with some rice that I burnt to the bottom of the pot, so let's just ignore that. We all make mistakes in the kitchen and it's okay. And I finished basically the whole pot of this recipe, but left a little bit and snacked on it a touch later. I'm also super curious to know what you guys do when you're on a budget. Let me know some of your favorite budget eats recipes down in the comments. If you have them linked to Pinterest, if you have them written out yourself, let me know what they are. And also, what ingredients are the most expensive and least expensive in the country that you're from? Because everywhere in the world is so different when it comes to cost of things, because the shipping costs, where things originate from, how well something grows in one place versus the other. I just find all of that so interesting about the world. So let me know down in the comments. And now let me narrate dinner. Chopping up onion and carrot and kale stalks. This is like classic for this week, along with a couple tomatoes, and then got those things into the pot along with some olive oil, seasoning them with salt, and then getting some pasta cooking. Always make sure the water that you're boiling your pasta in tastes like this. See, I added my tomatoes to the pot along with some tomato paste, some dried basil, black pepper, mixing that together and allowing things to get warm and fragrant for about 45 seconds before adding some frozen broccoli. I hate frozen broccoli. I'm just gonna say it. It's awful. And I also recently learned right after this video that apparently when you freeze vegetables, it strips away the fiber. So if you're constantly eating frozen vegetables, this is not to add more fear food propaganda that is out in the world, but it is just true. If you are eating frozen vegetables on a regular basis, you're not fully getting the nutritional value from vegetables, which is a lot of the fiber. So I do recommend buying fresh as much as you possibly can, just so you are getting all of that goodness. However, if you are on a budget or just can't afford it, then frozen is the way, and that's okay. There's no shame, but I just thought I'd let you know. The next day, I started feeling a bit sick and I was a bit tired. So I made a super bright and colorful, antioxidant-rich salad, and this is the only recipe that I made on this day, to be completely honest. So I started off by chopping some red onion, a beet, and some apple. We're gonna mix all of that together. Stay with me. I know it's weird, but trust me, it was really delicious. The earthiness from the beet, the fresh, crisp, and sweet element from the apple, the tanginess from the red onion, protein from our brown lentils, and then the spices I'm using, some lemon juice, black pepper, salt, garlic powder, chili, and I felt like it needed a little bit of freshness, so I chopped up some coriander and added that in there, and it was also a nice little pop of color green. Like I said, I know it's a little bit of a weird one, but it was really delicious and I recommend it. Also, a lot of today's music and recently in my videos have been my friend's band Surf Hat. I love them so much. They're so cool. I'll link their Spotify down below so you can go listen to their new album that they released this spring. Part of that album is the song that's playing right now, Hen House. Diving into another breakfast, I'm mashing 2 sad-looking bananas, adding 1 cup of oats to that, along with a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, a couple tablespoons worth of olive oil for that fattiness, pinch of salt, 2 scoops of chocolate protein powder, 1/2 cup of coffee. I felt like the coffee would just really level up this chocolatey goodness, you know? Along with some soy milk or oat milk, 1 tablespoon worth of apple cider vinegar, and a couple tablespoons worth of sugar. I've been loving this recipe recently. I feel like I get to eat a brownie for breakfast and actually feel like nourished after and not depleted from 10 pounds of sugar that are in most vegan brownies. So I recommend this one if you're a chocolate lover and want to start your day with a brownie. The banana flavor was really intense when I first pulled it out of the oven, and it was still quite warm when I served myself up a couple pieces, but it got stiffer and more mellow as days went on. Hola, my friends. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I got pretty sick for a few days. I'm still sick, like I'm still coughing and sneezing and blowing stuff out of my nose, but figured I'd jump back into the budget eats. I've eaten a lot of the leftovers that I had, so this grocery haul can get you far. I also ordered takeout one of the days because I was just so exhausted. I couldn't even stand up for like more than 5 minutes without just feeling like dead. So now I'm here. Although cocoa was not in the grocery haul, I really wanted chocolate, so I'm just gonna give myself this. You do not have to add cocoa to it, but if you have protein powder, that would be really incredible just to make sure it's a little bit more of a nutritious breakfast. I recommend instant oats or quick oats, not the whole oats. I accidentally bought these. All in all, pretty good. So because I was sick for a number of days and really just not moving at all, my appetite was very, very low. So I had those 2 brownies. I think I snacked on maybe a little bit of leftovers on this day, and then got into making breakfast. It's also dark in my apartment by like 5. So yeah, anyways. These potatoes were phenomenal. I added half of a cooking onion, a couple tablespoons worth of olive oil, big handful of fresh coriander, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, salt, a little bit of smoked paprika, and some chili to taste. I also added a small splash of water while it was cooking just to kind of steam the potatoes and make them cook a little bit faster. But I popped them in the oven until they were nice and soft. And in the meantime, I boiled some more brown lentils, and we're gonna make a big nutritious salad. Ripping up some kale leaves and tossing them into a bowl. And then I'm going to massage them with some fresh lemon juice, salt, until they become a nice, beautiful, vibrant green color. I'd also like to mention that the day before I got sick, I filmed a vlog, and I thought I was done with the Budget Eats video. I don't know why I thought that, but the last video that I posted was a vlog, and I used some more of the budget recipe ingredients. So if you want to go check that vlog out and get some more recipes, then I suggest doing that. But anyways, my salad, we got the massage kale, like I already mentioned, carrot, cucumber, half of a beet, olive oil, balsamic vinegar, black pepper, garlic powder, and some brown lentils that we cooked. I love a big salad like this. I just find it so refreshing, so nourishing, so flavorful. Also, I feel like beets are underrated. I hadn't had beets in a really long time, like years, because I thought I was allergic. Turns out I'm not allergic, and if anyone were to eat 5 beets in a salad, like I did, which made me think I was allergic, that you would probably have a funny, weird allergic reaction the same way that I did. Just to put that information out there. Beets are great, but have like half a one, not 5. I hope you guys enjoyed today's Budget Eats recipe video. I love you. I appreciate you. If you could, hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you again so very soon. Mwah!